Hey there, Foxy fans. Welcome to another chapter in Foxy's Garage, working on Foxy. All right, so what we've seen in the last couple of videos was the brake upgrade. The wheels, the tires, and the big-ass, see if I can get this off here, the big-ass rotors. That all works fine. We corrected our, shaving it off, but it's working well. Problem we're having now, though, is I do not feel this is sufficient braking power for the amount of rotor and caliper and pad we have now. So my suspicion is this guy. This is your generic GM Corvette style, old school, dual master. It's all over the place. My question is, how big is the bore, and what's my throw length on the coming out of the booster? I don't know. I put this thing in 3 years ago. I threw it in. It's possible I don't have enough master anymore for the new brakes. So I'm just going to try to quickly pull this thing off, if possible, without breaking any lines. Just yank the bolt here and the bolt here and sort of move it forward. The distribution block is mounted in there as well. These are steel rather than NICOP brake lines, so I'm hoping they'll be rigid enough to sort of hold it in place, have a bit of give, and I can then put a caliper on the back, a measuring device on the back, and measure the diameter of the bore, and then do a depth check. Bore depth check for the rod. All right, so I think it's a 9/16, which we will grab. Can I see? I can't see. Is that 9/16? All right. Oh my God, it actually fits. These gear wrenches were a birthday gift to myself. Thought they'd be perfect for just about everything. It's amazing how many things they don't fit into. But amazingly, it seems to work well for this application. The other project I got going on with Foxy is her ignition starting. I think I've narrowed it down to just the switch in the dash being 50, as of now, because she is a January car, a 57-year-old, Happy New Year everybody, it's January 1st, a 57-year-old switch. So I think the switch is just worn out and it isn't making contact every time. Oh my God. This bolt was finger tight. I better fire my mechanic. Well, at least the bolt's still there. The distribution, all right, well, that nut's on the ground. The distribution block is held on with a single bolt, even though it came with two. One disappeared somewhere over the last 3 years. Don't know where it went. All right, let's see what we got here. Can it, oh, it's gonna move. Okay. Okay, so the bullet is in there. So the adapter was in the bore. See if I can jiggle this guy back out without breaking any lines. One of my questions was, did I have this guy in there? It turns out I do have this guy in there. This bullet is the adapter for long throw, short throw. And I thought maybe I have a short throw rod. A little scungy in there. How do we do this? Maybe I'm going to use you guys. I'll put you down here and I'll let you watch, and I'll press on the pedal. I'll see what the throw is. Maybe I don't have a long enough rod either, and it's not pressing enough juice out. All right. Should be wearing gloves, but I'm always forgetting to wear gloves. moisture out of here. Bit of rust that I haven't seen before though. Okay. Alright guys, let's have you move over here. Get a nice shot of the rod for me. Alright, gotta shorten our tripod here. Coming down. And then we'll raise you up in this doohickey. Tell me when you can see it. I think behind that brake bracket there. The hood bracket. All right. Couldn't see a thing. What did you guys see? All right, well, I'll reposition you again. Yeah, put you up a bit. See each other on equal footing. All right, let's grab my caliper. Best in plastic digital caliper technology here. Okay, let's get this guy to 0. Okay, our bore. That's in millimeters. All right, inch. It's a 1/2 inch bore apparently. No, that's a 1/2 inch. That's the internal space. That's the, all right, so 0.49. Oh, you guys are probably reading that backwards. I got you flipped around so I can sort of video produce with you guys here. All right, let's do it again. Get the outer diameter of the bore. That's the internal. That's the channel inside the bore for that bullet that I showed you. Come on, get in there. All right. All right, 1.07. The 0.7 is probably, so it's a 1 inch bore. It's about as good as they get. So that should be enough. My question is, how much throw do we have on this rod? Do we need a longer rod? Am I not getting enough push? Now this kit is all right stuff. This is their original stuff from the last kit. And honestly, the last kit wasn't great either, so I wonder. Can we get a depth reading? Well, the bullet, when it goes in, is pretty flush, so. Yeah, that's really flush. Can't be much space there. Huh. Well, I was expecting the bullet not to be in there, and I was having a lot of extra travel that I didn't need. And that was not the case. So it's still a bit of a mystery why I don't have great braking. Like my truck, the 08 Ram out there, those brakes, you stomp on it, snaps the tires and you skid to a halt. This car, even with the Corvette brakes, you stomp on it and she pushes. It pushes against the brakes, pushes through the brakes a little bit, which isn't right. So I gotta think about this a little more. Maybe some more Google searching for other answers. Right back. Okay, Foxy fans, welcome back again. Not that you really noticed I was gone. Time passed. Supper bell rang. I went. We had a lovely dinner, scallops and potatoes and Brussels sprouts and all kinds of, oh, and a shrimp ring. It was really kind of an amazing little feast I was not expecting. So I took care of that. And I'm back, which is good because it gave me time. Talked to a cousin who is mechanically adept, and I mentioned the problem I was trying to figure out. And he mentioned that maybe the booster rod, isn't adjusted to the right length. And to be perfectly honest, I may have adjusted it at some point. I do not remember. So I am going to actually pull this sucker off again. And I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to gauge what the current measurement is. I might be able to find some sort of clay or something around here that I can use as a gauge for the positioning of it, or I may just, drag it out 1/4 of an inch or something and see if that creates drag on the brakes. But it's a good idea, good thought. So here we go. And that is tightening. We need to loosen. Oh yeah, of course I tightened it like it was never going to come off again. Let's see if I can't drop these nuts back down into the oil pan, into the drip pan under the car again. Okay. Well, I should put some gloves on. Okay. I'm getting a nice shot of my elbow there, everybody. See on the back side of me. Well, must be 6:30. Is our volunteer fire department alarm. Every day at 6:30 they do a sound check. It's actually kind of nice because time can get away from me, and they sound that off and I go, oh geez, 6:30. Okay. Yank this out again, let it hang on its brake lines. Now, got to figure a way to get this sucker to come out to measure. Of course, what am I, sticking my head in front of you? Yeah, great. Well, I'm going to stick that giant clamp I had before. Kind of like I'm rigging the car to drive autopilot. 90s, 80s, or 90s movie. All right, I don't know if you can see it, but sticking out now. Figure a way to get it to loosen up, get it to adjust out. You got to put a pair of vice grips on it and a small wrench. Looking maybe like 1/4 inch. What do we got? No, even 1/4 inch is too big. Oh, that's a 7/16, so I ain't no 1/4. That's a 3/8. Too big. All right, I gotta dig up my 1/4-inch wrench somewhere. Get a 15/64 wrench, ridiculously small. 5/16. 5/16 and a 9/32. 3/8 and 11/32. I got some amazingly tiny wrenches. It's kind of fun. There's a 1/4-inch and a 15/64. All right. One of these little guys. There we go. So by 9/32 wrench, that little guy. Gotta lube up my old pair of vice grips here. There we go. Just gotta spin out a little. Put my light down, I can see better. I'm sure you guys can't see anything. I can barely see. Get my readers on. There we go. All right, so now I got to figure out how I'm going to measure how much I have out. Zero that guy out again. Just enough I can get this in there. All right. I have it 0.09 inches out. Let's flip the millimeters to be easier. 2.5 millimeters out. All right. I mean, that's a small adjustment, but maybe we don't want to go overkill on that. Dropping a metal wrench in on top of my relay box. That's a great idea. I'm sure that won't cause any problems. All right, try to show you what I did here. All right, let's flip you around. Hi, everybody. All right, how do you flip the lens around on this sucker? Hold on. All right, here we are. So that's the shaft sticking out, and you see where the thread is. That's where I've extended it out a little bit. It was already down. It was way down at the bottom. So I'm going to go out on the limb and say it was under adjusted. Just looking at that goop there, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. Maybe some brake fluid washed down the back here and seeped in, and that's what that is. It's not leaking from the cylinder, it just kind of piled up around it on the piston. Let's go with that. Okay, so that's 2.5 millimeters out. I'm going to start with that and see how that goes. Yeah. Stick my wrench right in front of the camera. That's good stuff. That's compelling video there. Grab my ginormous clamp off the brake. Should pull it in quite nicely. See if we can get her seat back up again. Throws itself back out. All right. I have no idea what you guys are seeing. I hope it's good. I hope it's compelling. And it's just not me wheezing into the back of the hood doing this all blind. Never mind, I can't see what you're seeing. I can't see what I'm seeing. Okay. Got that started. See if that feels any different. Well, it's taken up a lot. It used to be a little bit of dead space at the top. I don't feel that anymore. Okay, unfortunately, it is raining outside. It is nasty. I don't want to be out there. So, I adjusted that out. The other thing I might try doing, I might play with the bias, because you can adjust that as well, front and rear. And I can try to shift the bias more towards the front, because maybe it's more rear setting. But I'm going to test what I did first. Change one thing at a time, small changes, and see if it makes a difference, and keep changing it until it does. And after you're happy with that, do the next thing. In my life, I tend to make a whole bunch of changes at once, and then something is better or worse, and I can't remember what the heck I did to make it better or worse. Okay, that is, I think that's pretty much all I have for now. I'm going to spend a few minutes and just crop up this video a little bit so it's just a little bit less dead time of you staring at the back of my head and me breathing into the mic, trying to figure out what I'm doing. But from where I started on this video till now, there was about an hour gap for dinner and a conversation, and I came up with something different with adjusting the power booster rod, push rod. I added 2.5 millimeters, which is, I forget, 0.09 or something inches. And we'll see if that makes a difference. That might actually give me the extra bite I've been looking for. And it'll be a little annoying if I could have had the same extra bite on the 10-inch rotors before going to the 13s. But I think in the end the 13s are going to be fine. Just extra cost and time. Okay, I did find one broken ground when I was digging around for other things on one of my fans. I'm going to quickly fix that and get both fans running. Not that I need both fans. The single fan on this CTSV radiator, it cools the entire car. The secondary fan never even begins to run, honestly. But right now it can't because that's the ground. And the ground on the relay isn't going to work. So that the far fan has been dead. The near fan is the one that's been cooling the car. But it honestly only needs the one fan. Pretty impressive stuff. Stock CTSV radiator and fan and shrouds. It's been great and cheap. That's my ideal combination. Effective, cheap, and attractive. If I can get all three, I'm doing great. Attractive is questionable on this one. It's definitely not as attractive as a large 4-core, high, polished stainless aluminum radiator, but yeah, I'll take it. Much like my wheels, which I'm getting plenty of hate on my new wheel combo, but everyone who hates it seems to want me to go get custom-made 17-inch Kragers or Rallies or Pontiac Rally 1s or whatever. Yeah, custom-made wheels are between $300 and $500 a piece. My current wheels are $25 a piece, plus rubber. So, again, effective, cheap, and attractive. Kind of losing on the third one there. Someday I will find something better, but for now, these will do. The haters can keep hating. I guess you can, as the adage goes, you can always judge your success by the quality of your enemies. I don't have great enemies, but I am getting more of them. So quantity over quality. All right, guys, you have a good Saturday night. I still got one more day off. Yes. And tomorrow's going to be a nice driving day. I will be out with the car and probably shoot some video from out in the car.